it's me, and I'm back on this Monday for Car Chronicles in the parent line. As you can see, I forgot my glasses. I just started wearing them, so I forgot them. I forgot to put them on this morning. So I'm not wearing my glasses. That the doctor told me I had to wear my glasses, but I don't have them on. So that's his life. Anyway, so Mondays is going to be motivational Mondays, but it's not what you think it's going to be. It's not me trying to make you feel better about yourself or trying to pump life into you. No, motivational Mondays is me breaking down motivational quotes and how I sit and overthink them and think them through and because I don't never take anything at face value. That's just how I am. That's just in my DNA. So I overthink quotes, and that's what we're doing on Motivational Mondays. We're gonna overthink quotes with Jeanette. Bop, bop, bop. You like my music? Bop, bop, bop. So yeah, and remember, I say I only have a degree in being me, so you can take everything as face value too. And I'm just spewing what goes through my head. It's right, wrong, indifferent, whatever. So today's motivational quote is, "You're never too much for the right person." Yeah, I've seen that quote a lot when people, they break up or they are going through some stuff with their significant other or whatever. So put the quote up, "You're never too much for the right person." I don't know if if there's someone who just take all your too muchness, but let me see. When I think about quotes like that, like what exactly is too much? And then does that count with every aspect of your life? Because me personally, let's talk because I said I only know myself. So me personally, I'm very sensitive. I can be passive aggressive sometimes. I can be not clingy, but bothersome. And that could be too much for somebody. And I've toned that down over the years a lot. I've compromised myself in that area to not be too much of that person, of that annoying type person, or that super sensitive person, or that super passive aggressive person. I say what I mean what I say. I ask for stuff, but I still fall back in passive aggressive sometimes. But I still was to that, and I think that's like a bad thing to be too much in certain areas, especially if you want to compromise in a relationship. Like my husband. Husband's very, very social. Very social. He's quiet at home, but outside he talks to people, and it's just his personality. He likes to socialize and talk and everything. I don't even know if he likes doing it. I just think he just likes to know people. But anyway, but when we first got together, I was uncomfortable with it because I'm an introvert and he's extroverted. And so I thought, maybe he was too social. So he compromised himself and toned down to be not less social, but more so making me comfortable in those social situations to where I could be okay with him being who he is. And he knows that he makes me okay in those situations. So I don't know. I don't know if we can compromise on our too muchness, or if there's just somebody out there who's going to accept all our too muchness, because then you like, well, there's this thing where you just accept me as I am, and you do accept people as they are. And I think sometimes the real person they are comes out like later when they get more comfortable with you, but sometimes that's too late. You done fell in love, you done gave them your heart, but then you see the too muchness and you're like, oh my God, they are too much it. Too much it. That's my word, too much it. And so you have to have the conversations, and then you can choose whether you want to tone down what's too much in you, or you just want to go find somebody else who can accept those things that may be too much for the person you're with. It's a lot to think about. Like I've there are people like who have I don't have it, but people have, like I was talking about husband and social, there are people who have really big personalities, and I think they would be too much for like someone who's like quiet or reserved or whatever. And you got to think about it, like, do you want to, in those situations, do you want to expand who your dating pool would be? Because your dating pool is kind of limited to those who accept who you are. Like I said, these are just thoughts I throw out when I read these quotes and stuff. Because, like I said, you do limit your dating pool when you say you are just, I'm this person and you just accept me as I am without the compromise of being different. I don't know. It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum because you want to be who you are. That's it. And I always say, I use a logic. There's someone for everybody. My husband thinks it's skewed logic because there's like more women than men. But I googled, and in the whole entire universe, the whole entire world, there's actually more men than women. You just gotta expand your horizon. You gotta date in other countries. Like, especially you live in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and there's more women than men, and then there's a huge LGBTQ population as well. So yeah, if you a woman in Atlanta, you gotta date outside. You gotta go find a man in another part of the world. But yeah, that's the use and say there's somebody for everybody. But then you do, when you don't want to, compromise some things about yourself, you do make that pool for you like a bit smaller. And the pool is already small for certain because you have different standards, other standards. And like, so I don't know, is what's important. Like, do you put, the other person's personality and stuff, whatever, over, your own personality, or, whatever works for the things you want in life. Like I said, I just was thinking about that quote. Just tearing it down. It's a good quote because you like in life we just want to be ourselves. I think that's the thing. We just want to be ourselves. But sometimes those traits are not, maybe they're not good traits. Like I said, I'm very, very sensitive, and I used to be very, very too passive. My too much in this, I think, needed compromise. Sometimes your too much in this is just too much. It's how your flaws amplified. So yeah, it's a deep diving in yourself. But also, when people get into relationships with certain people, you have to know what too much is for you and what you can take and what you can compromise on. That's the thing about relationships. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. It's what you're willing to give, what you're willing to take, what you're willing to compromise on. And that's how we should go about in choosing a mate. It's not all about I'm just me and I'm gonna be me. If you want to be me, if you want to step out of yourself and be with somebody else. Because eventually, when you get married, you become one. You have a mindset of one. You share ideas. You share morals, values, how you guys want to move financially, move spiritually, move in love. So it does become a oneness. So you do have to take that in mind when you're looking for a partner. Are you willing to compromise some things you have never compromised on in your life? Because when you move in oneness by yourself, you don't have to compromise on anything. When you move in oneness with another being, you have to compromise on yourself and what your plans and goals and all that stuff are for you and your mate. Anyway, I love you guys. Remember, if you can love, yeah. If you can hate for no reason, you can love for no reason as well. I love you guys. See you next time. Bye.